Disclaimer: the following is not a rant on the characters featured in this video or the respective franchises, but a study of a certain trope. Enjoy! Trios can be hard to balance sometimes. Putting all three members of a group on equal ground with the main character having a wee bit more perks is the ideal goal in writing them. So make everyone look good and
everybody wins!
Sometimes though, they don't work out like they should. Tell me if you've seen this before. The trio consists of two who are male and one who is female, just like every trio in Naruto. What are the odds that each generation has that exact number of men and women? The two boys often tend to be way more involved in skill than the one girl. The two boys are some of the best received characters, and the one girl is favored far less, given little agency and may be divisive among fans. Let's call this trope the third wheel girl. Two major examples are Kairi from Kingdom Hearts and Sakura from Naruto. The two trios started out as close-knit friends or a reluctant bunch of students who have to cooperate with each other, then later become friends. As time goes on, each character diverges into separate paths, and the power difference is discouraging for the girl. Fu from Samurai Champloo is another part of this. Mugen and Jean are in on all the action, and Fu is either left out of it or put in danger. She has a sword, but doesn't use it much. Her purpose isn't to fight, but to keep the male leads from slaughtering each other until their deal is done.
What about the promise you made not to kill each other?
Guess no matter how hard we try, fate's gonna keep throwing us back together!
Fu isn't a fighter, but her ingenuity and quick thinking has helped the two greatly, like when she got them out of being executed in the first episode. For a more in-depth study, let's start off with Kairi. Keep in mind, I'm not insulting Kairi, and I'm sure as hell not criticizing the games mentioned. I'm observing how she was shafted time and time again. Sora, Riku, and Kairi, inseparable friends. After the fateful night when Destiny Islands was plunged into darkness by the Heartless, Sora and Riku are flung into their first journeys, exploring the galaxy of Disney movies, growing stronger in ways they thought impossible. Sora gets the Keyblade Kingdom Key and hangs with Goofy and Donald Duck. Riku's a temporary contributor of the Council of Disney Villains and gets the deathly-looking Soul Eater and D-Mode suit. Kairi, however, is comatose for the majority of the game. No magical weapon or badass moment for her. She's written as an accessory to Sora and Riku, building them up. Sora sacrifices himself to awaken Kairi, making him heroic. Riku gives in to the darkness out of believing it'll eventually resuscitate her, making him look noble but misguided. Kairi's moments are few compared to the boys. She helps Sora become human again and hands him her Oathkeeper charm, granting him a new Keyblade. Not much outside of that. She's one of the 7 princesses of heart, like a number of well-known Disney princesses. Most of these girls did things in their own stories. To be fair, it was her first game. Maybe she'll do more next time, right? Right? She completely missed out on Chain of Memories, where Sora and Riku took on half of Organization 13 in the ominous Castle Oblivion. During these events, she stays home at the islands. Kingdom Hearts 2 displays how passive she is as opposed to the more active Sora and Riku. These two brave their way to the world that never was, the headquarters of Organization 13, out of their own volition. Kairi was kidnapped and brought there to be used as bait for Sora.
What are you going to do with us?
You're the fire that feeds Sora's anger.
Kairi has less contributions, and they usually don't involve combat. She's a guide for Sora turning human again, a link for him to create a bridge. She convinces him the Ansem-looking guy is actually Riku. And about Riku, he gave Kairi her very own Keyblade, Destiny's Embrace, and she takes out a few of the weakest Heartless. Sora fought this thing a few hours prior.
Kairi, you are great!
I'm lying to make her feel better!
Sora and Riku beat Xemnas, Xehanort's nobody, the leader of Organization 13, the armored bad guy who pilots a giant dragon that can hurl buildings. These two have surpassed their limits since the end of the original title, and Kairi is practically stuck in the same place. Dream drop distance. Sora and Riku dive into the dream worlds with special duds and Dream Eater pals. It seems Kairi wasn't invited. If she was in this game, she would have had her own dream outfit, and Tamashib so would have been her main partner. It's the 10th anniversary. The two main heroes are back in a celebratory adventure, and Kairi doesn't show up for real until the last 3 seconds with the promise that she will do stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3. And in that game, Sora and Riku are on their missions to rescue past Keyblade wielders, and Kairi has some training with Axel. Off-screen. The final act is where things start picking up. She joins in fighting a bazillion Heartless summoned by Xehanort and tag teams with Axel against Saix and the Hooded Xion. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Son of a bitch. Xemnas yanks Kairi out of the fight and Master Xehanort gives her the axe to provoke Sora, making her absent for the final battle and once again an accessory to Sora. I think he's already motivated enough. I mean, he is Sora. All is not lost though. In the Remind DLC, we see what happens to Kairi after that moment. Sora went back in time and fights Master Xehanort with her. And she's playable! Yes! It was so cathartic to finally play as Kairi after 18 years of waiting. And you know what? She's really cool in this. She had a lead role, sort of, in Melody of Memory, where she recalls the other characters kicking ass. She flies in the final world for a bit and fights Master Xehanort mano a mano. She transforms into Sora and he does all the work. Progress! The ending states that she'll train under Aqua and she will do more. Again. This is the third time they did that, and she's in the same room! For someone who's written as the center of the universe half the time, she's woefully cast aside. It's not her fault, and I don't have a negative opinion of her. She isn't given much to do. When the opportunity comes, and it rarely comes, she'll do what she can. Sora and Riku have been through it all, carving their place in history as some of the best heroes in fiction. Kairi hasn't quite gotten off the ground yet. When's it gonna be her turn? She should be the protagonist of the next installment leading to Kingdom Hearts 4. And I mean a real protagonist, not a spectator. Put her in a game on par with Birth by Sleep or Dream Drop Distance. She deserves better. Sakura is another case. Naruto and Sasuke of Team 7 each have their own meaningful motivations since the beginning. Naruto wants to become Hokage, leader of the Hidden Leaf Village. Sasuke wants to avenge his slain clan, the Uchiha. Sakura has a thing for Sasuke and wants him to like her. Similar to Kairi, Sakura is mostly written to be an extension of the boys, a love interest.
Sasuke is so hot.
A helpless girl to rescue.
Move it!
It doesn't help that Naruto and Sasuke were destined to be better than Sakura. Naruto was trained by Toad monks to obtain Sage Mode. He joined with Kurama, the ultra-powerful nine-tailed fox, and his dad was the 4th Hokage. Sasuke is from the Uchiha clan, so he's naturally superior to everyone else. The Sharingan can let him do whatever the he wants. As a bonus, Orochimaru gave him the Cursed Seal, which lets him transform and fly. And to top it all off, Naruto and Sasuke are the inheritors of chakra from legendary shinobi. Sakura doesn't have a bonus in that playing field. She did start out as the most intelligent and chakra balanced in the group, giving her some advantage, but the boys get over that. She was trained by Tsunade, the 5th Hokage and one of the 3 Sannin, but at the end of the day, she can never match these two. I will give her this, she is the most grounded of the 3. Her parents are regular people, unlike the uber-famous parents of Naruto and Sasuke, and she wasn't otherworldly gifted like those two were. She worked her ass off without a power boost. You know what? I'm giving her credit for that. I feel bad for Sakura when I think of the fight scenes too. Look at a few of the earliest. It's Naruto and Sasuke strategizing against the ruthless bounty hunter Zabuza and the icy Haku. The best Sakura does is throw a kunai that catches Haku off guard. The rest of the time, it's...
Sensei, what are we gonna do? Sasuke! Sasuke, no! Naruto, what in the world are you doing?
She fought the Sound Ninja in the Forest of Death for a bit and needed more of that. Naruto and Sasuke progressively become stronger years ahead, leaving Sakura in the dust. Shippuden didn't improve much. Fighting Sasori of the Akatsuki was a potential sign of her being more involved for the right reasons. But after that, she sidelined until the 4th Shinobi War, where Naruto and Sasuke have achieved God Mode. Sakura could have been more than what was tossed to her, but she's permanently outclassed by the 2 central characters. Sorry, Sakura. Oh, but Mary Jane from the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy gets it the worst. Peter Parker, Harry Osborn, and Mary J. Watson. These 3 have been friends for years. Peter gets bitten by a radioactive spider and gains superpowers, becoming Spider-Man. Harry taps into the mad science left behind by his father and transforms into the Green Goblin's successor. MJ doesn't get jack. She has no superpowers and she's put in danger by each villain. The movies kept giving her crap to deal with. Keeping her in these scenarios has led to people labeling her as useless or dependent, and that's why she's hated so much. I know, she was never meant to have powers and the plot required her to be in danger for Peter's development, and Peter is the main focus. And a 3rd campaign in Dream Drop Distance would mean 3 sets of alternate mini-stories for each Disney planet. But that doesn't change the trope at work here. There are trios with 2 boys and 1 girl that don't fall into this cliche. Sonic Riders' Wave the Swallow of the Babylon Rogues is a Starkey tech genius who tends to be more involved than resident tough guy Storm the Albatross. She sabotaged Sonic's hoverboard in his race with Jet the Hawk, and she researched the arcs of the cosmos. Where would Jet and Storm be without her?
I'll try to paraphrase it simply enough for you to follow.
Leela in Futurama is definitely more responsible than the slacker Bender.
It has come to my attention that this company has been paying you to do nothing but loaf about on the couch.
You call that a couch?
I demand a pillow!
And smarter than the not-so-bright Fry.
Attention, new New Yorkers! Stop acting so stupid!
And she has accomplished a ton. She's a captain of a spaceship, a black belt, she fought an army of watermen on her own, steered the Planet Express ship away from a black hole, bashed the robot devil with a solid gold fiddle. I can go on.
Time for the drum solo.
And let's not forget, she had plenty of time dedicated to her heart-wrenching origin, growing up as a bullied orphan and her lifelong obsession of finding her parents, something she thought would never happen. And when she meets them, you really feel for her. Aqua from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, more experienced and battle-hardened than Terra and Ventus, ignoring Union Cross.
How old are you?
She has more campaigns than they do. She's the only one of them to get her own game. Birth by Sleep ended with her. She had the final boss battle, and the emotional ending is largely from her perspective. I love how Kingdom Hearts 3 had her as a boss fight, a playable character, and a partner. I am going to love seeing her train Kairi, if it's not off screen. Without question, the best female Kingdom Hearts character, and top 5 in general. Aqua rules! I can't blame the writers for devoting more time to the characters they like the most, but it can be a letdown when what started out as a trio is favored more as a duo with an occasional guest. Why can't the trio be complete? The one girl can have her own story too, and not be an accessory or a tool for the boys. She shouldn't have to be a third wheel. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and feel free to comment what you think about the third wheel girl trope. Till next time!